Yeah.
One-handed while videoing it. That's pretty good right there. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
That went 30 feet up in the air and it crashes.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Be good just to hold them down by your side. Yeah, great.
What's up, guys? Matt here coming at you with a quick look at this brand new Losi Promoto MX. Very excited about this thing. It came in yesterday and there was no chance of getting video of this thing before we ran it. Liam just ran to the porch, got it, brought the box in, which is huge, by the way. This box is massive. My daughter was like, that thing came in this huge box. But it is pretty big. We'll show it like compared to a couple different things to show you, because everybody else's first thoughts on this was, man, I can't believe it's that big. Like, I thought it was much smaller. But you can see it's got a pretty cool picture here showing all of the stuff they've crammed inside of here. The motor, the gyro, all of that stuff. That's all up inside of here and works very well. You know, the dirt bikes, there's been a couple other ones out there, Sky RC, and that's a conversation I had with a few people where they were like, I can't believe this brand new technology. And I'm like, this stuff's been around for a while. I think Losi just took it and really moved it up 10 notches, and like kind of perfected it and made this bike look so much cooler. This actually looks more scale compared to some of the others. They look pretty cheesy. I almost went and bought the Sky RC after I ordered this, just so I could compare them. But honestly, that thing's still like $400 to $500, and it's just not worth that to me because this looks so much cooler, and I knew it was just going to be the new technology. But this has been around for a little while. It's not what Losi's making it out to be, like, oh, it's just groundbreaking, something brand new they came up with. But they did pretty much perfect it. I think this thing runs about as good as you're ever going to get a dirt bike RC to run. Like, it's pretty crazy how well this thing handles and just the detail that they've put into it. So before we really get into the bike, let's just talk about some of the stuff you get with it, because you get quite a bit of stuff here. One thing that's really cool is this quick start guide. I mean, if you're ready to run on the fly, this really just, you don't have to read through a lot of the manual. Shows you how to get it going. We'll go through that in a minute. Of course, they've got a lot of really cool upgrade stuff already available. That's one thing that really made me just jump on this right away. Those others have been out for a pretty good while. It's hard to get parts for them. Not a lot of upgrades that I know of. I haven't dug deep into RC dirt bikes and stuff, but of course you get the manual. You get an extra set of stickers. The stickers, numbers, everything. So that's pretty cool because we've already did a number on these. And then, of course, you get the transmitter. You get some tools to help you work on this because it's a bit unique. You're going to need some actual wrenches on this thing. And so it's pretty cool. There's a lot to this thing. And, they give you a lot of spare parts here that are for adjusting the chain tension. So you can kind of slip these in the rear wheel here and adjust the tension on the chain. It's going to be like learning to walk again or something. I mean, like, this is a whole new experience working on something like this. But then you also get a chain lube, which they say to clean and oil this chain after every use. You can tell I haven't used it yet, but I probably need to. You also get this start gate and some massive nails to pin the start gate down. If you want to set this in the ground, these don't stay out. You just nail those down, I guess, and then you got your start gate. We used the start gate initially just to try it out, but most of the time it's simple enough to just hold it by hand and take off full throttle. So just for some size comparisons here, let's show next to like a 10th scale crawler. A little bit larger than that as far as length, I guess, overall. Of course, much taller with the rider and everything. So it's pretty good size for a dirt bike. Next to a 24 scale, because I know everybody loves their 24s. It's definitely huge. So this is pretty big for a dirt bike, and it makes for a lot of fun. This thing goes very well in the grass. We have very tall grass. This thing has no issues running in it. Turning in the grass is a little bit tougher. You have to kind of turn a half mile, but it does turn pretty good for being a dirt bike. And I've never had a motorcycle or anything that I could run through the grass, so that's really cool. I've only ran one period in my life, and it was basically you had to run on the road. You couldn't even really turn around on the road. So the way that they've put this thing together to work so well is pretty amazing. The tires, man, they feel so cool, just dirt bike tires. You know what I mean? Like, they're stiff, but I mean, they're what they're supposed to be. Nice knobbies on them. I may look into getting some of the street tires for when I go to like some parking lots or something to run around. That would be pretty cool. We've got actual disc brakes on this thing. You guys have seen a lot of stuff on the details of this. My thoughts on it so far, it's held up pretty well. The shocks feel pretty dang good, you know, front and rear. We've launched this thing, sent it pretty hard. So far, the driver, rider, whatever, is holding up well. He has taken a beating. His helmet's getting some wear. Sticker's getting a little wear. But man, overall, he's held on tight. So that's something with the Scour C. I know those things always lost their head. This one, it looks like it's all kind of made into one piece, and it's rubber there, so hopefully we won't be losing the head. You can change the clothes and everything on this guy, so they have different jerseys and stuff available for him, so that's cool, some new different racing gear. So I was a bit of a cheapskate and didn't order the Spektrum batteries or the charger and all that because I just really don't like overpaying for those batteries. I use the Z packs. I have great luck with these things. They're at least half the price. There's a lot of other different brands on Amazon. I got on there last night, ordered 2 packs for this, for the Ovonic or something like that, for like 30 bucks for 2 packs with EC5 connectors, because I normally run these XT90s. These are way better in my opinion. So I didn't really want to go changing these, but using an adapter is a bit of a pain on this. So I would recommend getting some EC5. They will work with the IC5, whatever, it's all the same difference, but you can get those pretty cheap on Amazon. I'll link some in the description. But for now, we're gonna cram these with the adapter in there because it's just what I have on hand. A shorty pack will work in here. I think maybe that's what this foam is for. They give you, in case you're running a shorty pack, you can make it work. But definitely something with the EC5 is much easier. In the rear here, there is a panel that drops down, the exhaust and everything drops down, and then your battery goes inside of here. You can see here running the adapter really kind of puts those wires in a little bit of danger of being hit when you're busting out some wheelies, but it does work for now. And like I said, I did order a couple batteries that should work better, just because I won't have to use the adapter in there. But I'm gonna show you real quick how you start this thing up because it is a little bit odd, and then we're definitely just gonna go run this thing. All right, so start up on this thing. I'm just gonna turn the transmitter on. I usually like to make sure that flywheel is off. I always forget to do that, but you can do it right now. And then you're gonna turn it on by the power button right here. And then this stuff's just gonna start beeping at you like crazy. It's just gonna do some weird stuff. And then we're gonna turn the flywheel on. You'll hear the flywheel start spinning. You gotta wait and let this thing kind of get to a solid pitch. You can hear it ramping up. I think the manual says about 30 seconds. I just kind of listen for it when I think it's done, you know, ramping itself up. It's to full speed. Basically right now, I think we're good to go. I usually give it a couple more seconds just to be safe. Now, what is really weird is you'll notice when I turn left, this turns right. So when I first took this out of the box, I was like, well, the steering's backwards, so I flipped the switch. Well, it's actually not, because the way this thing works, when you turn left, it actually leans the body left, turns the wheel a little bit right, to keep this thing up. So pretty neat idea and pretty wild how it works. So at this point we're ready to go. I suggest just pretty much hammering it when you're ready to take off, because I did take off pretty smooth there. And you can see this thing actually really rips in the grass. Oh man, and we got wet grass. No. It's pretty amazing how well it will turn on the concrete. And on the gravel, I mean, even the gravel, it does pretty well. It wants to get on its side a little bit in the gravel sometimes. And I'm driving this one-handed right now, guys, so it can be done. Those sidebars definitely help. You could drive this thing without them. You would just have to be a lot more careful, especially in grass and stuff. You can see there, like, it'll get away from you quick. So I'd love to run this thing on 3S. I don't really know if that's possible. See there, if you, in the gravel, you can get it in a position where it won't pick itself back up. It is really peppy on 2S. I couldn't imagine this thing on 3S because it would just backflip. You really have to watch spots like that if you're going from concrete to the grass. That lip there really just messes with it. So the next few shots are our actual first run with this thing. Liam, you know, was very excited to get his hands on it, so he ran it first. And then I had a couple buddies over working on some crawlers, and I let them run it. You know, in true 2FM style, I was the last to run the new RC, but I get plenty of time with these things, so I'm happy to give up the controller and let somebody else have some fun.
Oh, it's in inverted controls. What the heck?
I'll flip it.
You turn right and it goes left.
Turn that.
That's like fun.
The dog likes it. How's it?
That thing's fun. Once you get it going.
All right.
Oh,
You heard me out.
All right.
It's hard. Looks like you want to go out hard to drive. Yeah.
Oh, he just got a wheelie. Oh yeah, he's getting the hang of it now. Look at that control. Oh yeah.
I just wonder who Martin is.
If that's the only thing that gets you is that.
Well, lead your body with it, yeah.
Dude, you pick that thing up.
Body to do it.
All right, take off. Oh yeah.
Just don't crash it out there or else you gotta walk out
I
there.
see what you're saying now. Yeah. Full throttle.
Okay.
It is pretty peppy. That's just 2S, huh?
Oh, I wanna try something. I know what to do now.
Nice. Goes in the grass pretty good. Till you do that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Watch this. I'm gonna do
So to
something.
take off in the grass, you just got to hammer it. And don't stop. Oh, I'm going to. Let's see it. He's gonna run it right through that fence. That's what he's gonna do.
Right in the cow field.
Easy. Fence there. That's a good jump. Don't want to decapitate the dude on the first ride. So I was most impressed that this thing goes so well in this thick grass. Usually anything 10th scale, you got to have 4-wheel drive, or it's not going in this grass at all. And even like a 4-wheel drive 10th scale doesn't do great sometimes. You know, even Maxes and things like that kind of struggle in this grass. And you can see this dirt bike does pretty dang well. It rides wheelies like crazy. It's able to turn. You know, it felt kind of warm on the body around the motor, but obviously it never shut down or anything like that. You do need a longer jump, really, to jump this thing. You can see we were trying to bump off that little kicker, and it's just a short ramp, really. It just flips like it did there. But it is something that draws a crowd. I mean, you know, my mother-in-law back there was out shooting videos with her phone of this thing, and she doesn't care anything about these RCs, you know, but everybody's pretty excited about it. And you'll see Sophie here, she was having a blast with it, and normally she doesn't mess with the RCs too much, so it definitely brought her out, and I think she had a really good time with it overall. And it's just something fun and new to drive. And that's all you can ask for. You know, Losi kind of stepped out and made something new for us, and I think that's really cool and what's going to sell a lot of these things. I could definitely see this being a lot of fun out at like a BMX track or something like that. If I had something like that in my area, it would absolutely be a blast, because it's definitely more fun hitting some smooth jumps, just getting it on some dirt, I'm sure. But this was just kind of our first run here in the yard, just kind of what I think straight away. And it's definitely a lot of fun, something worth checking out. I don't know in the long run this will be one that I grab a lot, but it's just so unique and so cool that I'm glad to have it. But for long-term use, I don't know that it'll be something I grab a lot. You know, once the new wears off of it, I don't see me running this a ton, but maybe that will change. You know, maybe I'll make some jumps back here. You can see my father-in-law is having some fun with it. And, you know, if we could get this out to like our fairgrounds, has a pretty good dirt spot we could run and stuff. And it would even be fun getting out into a parking lot with street tires or something. It would definitely be a lot of fun if you had a couple of these to, you know, run with some buddies or something. But honestly, I don't see anybody else around here really spending the money on one. You know, the price is pretty steep, but there's a lot going into this thing. And, you know, I don't feel like it's overpriced at all.
Pretty hard to drive
for a lot of
for
people.
sure.
It's a pretty expensive investment for something that maybe they won't use a ton, but it is a blast for sure. It's definitely an attention grabber, and you can see if you don't have a lot of room, it can still be fun. The wheelie mode is pretty sweet. You know, you can flip between 3 different modes on the controller. So you've got a off-road, a wheelie, and a street mode. So it'd be kind of neat to see what it does in the street mode. You can also adjust your lean and stuff to get a little more like gyro help, I guess, or less. So that's pretty cool.
That
But
thick gravel
overall,
gets me every
we had
time.
a lot of fun with this thing. And
Yeah.
I think it's worth the money. Time will tell for me on this one, because it just depends how often I will continue grabbing this. You know, it's a blast right now because it's so new. It's something totally
I'm
different.
still recording.
But I don't know how long it will stick. And I'll just say that about it. But look for more to come on this. This is really just an initial thoughts, first kind of run thing. And we've had a blast with it. and hopefully I can get you guys some more videos. So let me know what you think about it, where you'd like to see this thing, how you'd like to see it run, whatever. I appreciate everybody watching. Peace.
And when you punch it, oh man, that's awesome. If it's ever gonna break, it's gonna be now. If you keep on saying the beating like that over and over and over, that should be really impressive. Oh, it's so cool. Oh, rooster tail. Yeah. I really want to hit it wide open.
Do it.
I'm trying. I can't get it straight. Oh my gosh.
That went 30 feet up in the air and it crashes.
I'm surprised it ain't broke already.
You gonna make me want to buy one of these? What you gonna do? What are they? 600?